Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Arlenis Grace Francis. I'm a freshman honors psychology major from Atlanta, Georgia, and today I'm going to be explaining the psychology behind motivation. I've been studying psychology for 2 years now, and I believe that people should know more about this topic. Motivation is a very important part of our lives, but it's not something that's widely understood. The psychology of motivation seeks to understand why people behave in certain ways and what drives their actions. We could all benefit from understanding motivation in order to increase it. The 3 topics we'll be going over today are a little bit of history about motivation, what exactly is motivation, and what are the types of motivation. For a little bit of history, according to Władysław Witwicki's theory of power and motivation, the concept of power has always played a special role in psychology, but it usually refers to social relationships in which one party can influence and control the other. But for motivation, it doesn't have to be limited to domination over the years. It can be striving to control yourself, or for striving for perfection, or striving for respect in the eyes of other people. According to verywellmind.com, motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. It includes biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate human behavior. And there are 3 components of motivation: activation, persistence, and intensity. Activation is the decision to initiate a behavior. For example, if you decide that you want to get better grades, that is your activation of the decision to get better grades. Persistence is the continued effort toward a goal, even though obstacles may exist. So, for example, you could continue to put in the hard work even though you don't feel like it. Because I know we all know that some days we don't want to go to class, we don't want to do our work, we don't want to read our textbooks, but we all understand that we have to do it anyways. And through doing it anyways, that is you demonstrating your persistence. Intensity is the concentration and vigor that goes into pursuing a goal. An example of this could be, for low intensity, you could be only going to office hours once every 2 weeks, studying for 1 hour a day, and read your textbooks for 30 minutes a day. An example of high intensity could be going to office hours 3 times a week, studying for 2 hours a day, and reading your textbooks for 1 hour a day. According to Dr. Annette Ermsher and the Specialized Psychological Services, there are 2 types of motivation. One being intrinsic motivation, and the other being extrinsic motivation. First, we'll go over intrinsic motivation, which is the action of doing a task or activity for personal satisfaction or personal gain. For example, when you're intrinsically motivated to do something, you could be doing it for your own enjoyment or your own satisfaction because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. Self-determination theory is an example of intrinsic motivation. It emphasizes the importance of intrinsic motivation and the satisfaction of basic psychological needs. And it states that individuals have 3 fundamental psychological needs, which are autonomy, which is the feeling of control over yourself, competence, which is the feeling of being able to do things on your own, and relatedness, which is the feeling of being able to connect with others. Extrinsic motivation is doing something because you know you're going to get a reward or a payment, like winning a competition, getting a trophy, getting praise, or getting a raise at your job. It can also be considered motivation to be doing something to avoid punishment. For example, you wouldn't want to get in a fight in school out of fear of being suspended. You wouldn't want to get an F on your test out of fear of getting your phone taken at home. Now that we have gone over the history of motivation, what motivation is exactly, and the types of motivation, next time you feel like you're not motivated to do something, you could think about what you've learned about motivation and hopefully apply this in a way that could help you better or increase your levels of motivation so you can be productive, whether it be in the workforce, at school, or just in your personal life when you just simply don't have it in you to get up out of bed.